Every streamer needs emotes, especially if you're a VTuber. But not everyone is an artist, and unless you want to use the same emotes that everyone else is using, then commissioning one can be a little bit of an expensive endeavor. So what can you do? Well, you can make it yourself. Not by drawing, and certainly not by generative AI. That can go in the bin. But by pressing a couple of buttons on this cool new app. My name is Zekoz, and I help make streaming and VTubing accessible for everyone. And in this video, I'll be showing you how you can make your very own emotes to use on streams, content, Discord, or anywhere else you want in just 5 minutes using EmoteLab. Let's get it. First thing you need to do is search up EmoteLab on Steam and slap that buy button, because trust me, this $8 is gonna be a steal for what you're getting out of this behemoth of an application. Once you open it up, you're greeted with this. Don't worry, it's not as intimidating as it looks, just follow my lead. Up here you have your licenses. It tells you what you can and can't do with the app, and if you click on it, the rest of the app appears like magic. Next is a previewer that previews your emotes. If you hover your mouse on the top left, you'll find the controls. You can use these controls to move your little model however you want. Right next to it, you have your character list. This houses all the pre-saved characters that come with the app, as well as any that you've created and saved. Just below the previewer is the animation tab. Click on any of the many animations to play it. And don't worry about that export button down there. We'll get to that later on. Now, this part of the screen here is the juicy part, and that's where you'll spend the vast majority of your time, the customization tab, which is split into two. The first allows you to swap individual parts of your model and then adjust it however you'd like. The second tab allows you to edit the colors of individual parts, and if you click on this box, you can enable and disable that editing. Just make sure you pay attention to how it looks, okay? A fully white box means that it'll color everything. A half white box means that tint editing is enabled. This means that you can adjust both the primary colors and the secondary colors of your model, which is actually this little black gradient here. And finally, an empty box just means that editing is disabled. Finally, at the very bottom, you have your texture buttons. This program is super awesome in that it allows you to not only edit the current textures of each individual part, but also create your own if you wanted to. Let's go over how to do that real quick. First, open up the custom textures folder. Next, you want to look for the part that you want to edit. Coffee Bean, if you're watching this, please give us a way to find the textures easier, because it took the combined brain cells of me and my chat like 10 minutes to look for this one hairbang, which was deceptively chonky. And look, that may not be a whole lot of brain cells, but it still took us 10 minutes to find it. We found it! Yeah! But once you find your desired piece, go ahead and open up your drawing software. In this case, I'm using Photoshop, but you can use whatever you want. Before you draw on it, make sure that layer clipping is enabled so that you don't draw outside of the boundaries, as it might mess with the other parts. Alternatively, if you want to create your own parts, look for these images with the grid lines. Make sure to draw within the colored area and then hide it afterwards.
A few moments later.
Now that we've got our little guy looking oh so cute and lovely, we'll want to export it. Let me show you how the export settings work. It ain't hard, but make sure you pay attention. If you click this cogwheel on the left panel, you'll be brought into the settings page where you'll see export settings on the right side. This is the dimensions of your model in pixels. The larger it is, the longer it'll take to export, but also the crispier it'll look. You can even adjust its frames per second. Higher numbers will give you a smoother animation, but too much can actually slow it down. I find that the sweet spot is right in the middle. But for this video, let's select the Twitch animated emotes from the preset dropdown and then head back to the main page. Make your way over to the animation tab, select the animation that you want to export, and hit export emote. Now go ahead and do that for every animation that you want, and once you're done, it'll all show up in a nice little folder ready for you to use. Pretty easy, right? Now before you go ham and start making a million emotes, please remember a couple of really important things. First, EmoteLab doesn't have an autosave function as of yet. Make sure you save. Do not make the same mistake that I did. Please, I had to redo like half an hour worth of work. And finally, please keep in mind that EmoteLab is in early access, which means that this is merely the start of what this program has to offer. It already has a lot, but if you're like me and want more things, give the devs some feedback by leaving them a review on Steam or by letting them know by using hashtag EmoteLab on Twitter. No, I refuse to ever call it X. It's a stupid name. Bite me. Customizable emotes are an incredible evolution of customizable VTubers. EmoteLab is the first of its kind, and I look forward to seeing what the devs will add to it. So tell me, will you use EmoteLab? And if you already have, how did you find it? Let me know down in the comments. Ciao!